compared to this one. Yeah, that's interesting. Have you guys seen The Little Mermaid in Copenhagen? No? It's on my bucket list. I do want to see it just because we do have the girl in the wetsuit. I think it would be cool for myself to actually see The Little Mermaid, where he got his ideas from.
Very nice city to go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, maybe I'll make the trip out there.
I'm very safe.
Oh, okay, good. I know, I always do research
Very
before
friendly
visiting a new place. Okay, good to know. That's
Yeah.
good. I will talk about this dragon statue as well as the bridge once we keep going, but are there any other questions? No, we're good? Perfect. Well, I'll quickly point out the local mountains around us here. We've got 3 of them. Behind us on our right, that over there is Mount Seymour. All the buildings in front, that's part of North Vancouver. Directly on our right, this here is Grouse Mountain. We've got the gondola going up the side and the white windmill at the top. And behind the bridge past the valley is Cypress. These are all great mountains for hiking in the summer as well as skiing and snowboarding in the winter time. But this dragon statue on our right, this is a replica of the figurehead of the Axis Empress of Japan. That was a steamship that crossed the Pacific to ports of Asia, carrying tea, silk, mail, and immigrants. And she was renowned for never missing a sailing and never being late. She also had 2 sister ships. There was the Axis Empress of China and the Axis Empress of India. The green suspension bridge on our right, that over there is known as the Lionsgate Bridge. It was named after the 2 mountain peaks, the Lions, located in the Capilano Valley region. Unfortunately, we can't see them from here, but this bridge also has a second name. Here we like to call it the bridge that beer built. So I'm sure that you guys are probably familiar with the Irish brewing company Guinness. Yeah, so Guinness, they bought a piece of property over in West Vancouver, just on the hillside over there with all the buildings, and they wanted to connect it to downtown Vancouver. Well, at the time, the only way to get across was by taking a tiny little ferry that barely ran at all if it even did. So Guinness asked the city to build them a bridge, but they said no. They didn't want a road cutting through Stanley Park. Guinness, they give up. They kept asking the city, and it took about 40 years of negotiations until they finally agreed, but only on one condition, that Guinness had to pay for everything. And as you can see, Guinness did. It took 18 months to build this bridge at a cost of $5.8 million. And ironically, they sold it to the city a few years later at the exact same price. Guinness still owns a piece of property in West Vancouver. They're called British properties. Back in the day, they were pretty exclusive. You either have to have a British passport or be of British descent to live there. Nowadays, not quite as exclusive. All you have to do is have lots and lots of money. Properties, they can reach close to $40 million. Wow. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Which is why I like to say BC does not only stand for British Columbia, but also bring cash. Very pretty. Sorry? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh. No, I don't think that's what else does. I didn't know. That's good to know, though. Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. See, I learned stuff on my own tours, too. It's not just you guys. Now, this wooden archway to our left, this is known as the Lumberman's Arch. It's a tribute to the lumber industry and how much prosperity it's brought here to Vancouver. Lumber is still a big export product to this day. These beautiful red trees up on our left, these are known as Japanese red maples. So they'll start off with a burgundy color like this here, and as the leaves get more sunlight to them, they'll turn brighter red or even green, which is the opposite of our other maple trees. We don't have any sugar maples, so it's that produce maple syrup. It doesn't get quite cold enough in the winter time. Those are typically found in Quebec and Ontario. Yeah, these are one of my favorite trees. I used to have one in my front yard. They're just so pretty, and the transformation too. Like even on this tree, it kind of looks like the tips are on fire almost. It looks really cool. Down on our right, the body of water that we've been following here. This is known as Burrard Inlet. We've got lots of salmon, seals, otters, sea lions, and about 2 to 3 times a year, there's even an orca whale passing through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you do get to see them. The last time I saw them wasn't until the last July. So it's been about a year now that
They're
I've
well?
seen them. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got to see them on my tour in July of last year, and then I saw them again the next day. I got very lucky, 2 days in a row, but I haven't seen them since. So I've not been lucky in that sense. But they head up to Indian Arm to feed on a huge jellyfish colony, and then they'll come back down under the Lionsgate Bridge. That's usually where people spot them. But keep going. Keep going. He's a bit skeptical of this now. You're fine, buddy. Maybe it's the dog. I don't know. He's not liking that. You're fine. Good boy. Hey, they get scared too, just like us, you know? Yeah. I know, he's being pretty funny today though. The whole morning he's been good, hasn't cared about anything, stuff like that. It's like whatever. But now on this tour, he's like, everything is scaring him or getting him excited. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. He was probably standing around for a little too long at the booth. Now, up on our left, we can see that lots and lots of tree work has been done in here lately. It's getting very noticeable all around Stanley Park. But about 5 years ago, we started to get a problem with the hemlock looper moths. So these insects, they crawl inside our trees, eat away at the wood, and kill them. So about 2 years ago, the city decided to cut down all of the dead ones, and that came to a total of 165,000 trees.
Wow.
Yeah, that is about a quarter of the trees here in the park. So it's a big difference, and it's very, very sad. But once they're done cutting them all down, they will start a new project, and it is to replant them. So it won't always look quite this empty, just take a really long time to see a difference. Now, as we go up this little hill here, we can really see the horses working. It's a good glute workout, that's why they've got nice round bumps. But when we go downhill in a second, I get to help them out. I've got a break up front, so their job will literally turn into a walk in the park. And speaking of the horses, since there's not much to see around us here, I will take this time to tell you a little bit more about the horses' lives at the park. So these horses, they start off every single morning bright and early at 7:30 a.m. with breakfast in bed. They get 15 pounds of vitamin-enriched grain to buy between breakfast and dinner, 30 to 40 pounds of hay a day, and they'll wash that down with 30 gallons of water. That's about a 10-minute shower or a full bathtub. Once they're all stuffed up, we'll take them out, brush out their coats, come out their manes and tails, and take out their hooves, and we'll put about 30 pounds of harness on top of them. So it's everything that they're currently wearing and that you see. Then we'll hitch them up to the carriage and head down to the booth to start the day. So these horses, they do about 3 to 4 tours in a day, depending how busy we are. And in between each tour, they get at least half an hour break, so they get to rest and drink as much water as they would like. When they're done with the day, we'll head back home, take off all their harness, give them a shower with their sweaty, and strap behind their ears all the way down to their toes, so full body massage. And then we'll send them to bed with more rain and hay. These horses do get days off, of course. They work about 3 days on and 1 to 2 days off, but that does depend on the age of the horse and how fit they are. Our older horses, they only do about 1 day on and 2 days off. And all of our horses also get vacation time. Definitely more than you do. Our season here starts March 1st. We go until December 15th. For the rest of the month, we'll send our horses out to a field in Abbotsford where there's 15 acres of land. We'll take off all of their shoes and they get to kick up their heels and just be horses for a while. With that being said though, every 2 to 3 weeks we will take 2 horses from our stable, send them out and bring 2 back. So they only work about 6 to 8 months out of the year. We do also have 15 horses working on rotation of all ages. So draft horses, they live till the age of 25 to 32 years old. We don't start working them here until the age of 6 because that's how long it takes for their bodies to fully mature. And then they retire at the age of 20. So when they retire, that's when we'll find private homes and send them there. They get to be very cute, but also very oversized lawnmowers for the rest of their lives. Do any of you need a lawnmower by any chance? No, not quite yet. They are very big. They take up lots of space, so I don't blame you. Now we are going to be making a left here, heading up into the forest. This is the steepest part of the tour, so the horses will be getting some momentum just to help them out, which just means we're going to get a little bit faster. This will be good for Bud. You can get some of his energy out. All right. Good boy. Good. Well, there we go, everybody. That's top speed right there. We do not go much faster than that. These horses are, of course, more built for their strength. Do any of you want to make a guess on how much one of these horses might weigh? Not quite, a little less than 2 tons.
Less 900 pounds.
More than 900 pounds. Give up. It's about 1 ton or 2,000 pounds. Yeah, it's a lot of weight. But now that you know what they weigh, it does kind of put into proportion what they can pull. So a draft horse can only carry 20% of their own body weight, but they can pull up to 5 times their own body weight. That's about 10,000 pounds each. So together, they could pull 20,000 pounds. Of course, that depends on a few things, like if the roads are flat or hilly, if it's dead weight or on wheels, or how old the horse is, and for how long they work. So since our horses, they don't just do 5 to 10 minutes in a day, but a full day, we've maxed them to a limit of time and a half their own body weight, so the most they will ever pull is 6,000 pounds together, and we don't reach down unless 25 adults are on board. We are 5, so this is very easy for the horses. As you've noticed, Bud is just, it's nothing to him. Bud is our strongest horse. This guy is a machine. He can pull 5 of these all by himself, not a problem. But of course, horses are very social animals. They do like to be paired up with a partner throughout the day. And also just makes it easier on them. We're not here to torture them. We just want them to have a long, healthy life as well as be happy. Because if they're not happy, they're not working. So we need to make sure they're happy. Yeah, that's our main priority. If they're happy, we're good. Yeah. Are there any questions? No, we're good.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
After working with them for 10 years, you learn a lot. Yeah.
I believe
Oh yeah, some mornings, not often, but you know, once in a blue moon we'll have a horse who just won't want to be hitched up to the carriage. That's fine. We'll take a different horse. They'll get the day off. Doesn't matter. We've got enough horses. We'll just let him have the day off.
So,
Yeah, I know. I wish I could do that. It's protest, you know. Have an extra day here and there. No.
right, today's
Not
not
us.
my day.
I know. Imagine. I wish I could do that. No, but these horses do love working. Like, you can also see it. You can't force them to go out and work. They're way too big. They've got their own minds. Once they're set to something, they will do it. If they don't want to work, they will not work. We've had a few horses who didn't enjoy working with the carriages. That's fine. We found them new homes. One works at the police next door to us. We have one who's just with a little girl being a grooming horse, low riding horse. He loves it there. We've got one out on a farm eating the leftover pumpkins after the pumpkin patch. So, yeah, we always keep an eye on all the horses that we retire just to make sure. Boys? As we go up this road here, I'll tell you a little bit more about the trees and wildlife in Stanley Park. The first tree I want to point out is the one on our left. This big one here is a western red cedar. It's about 500 years old, and they can grow up to 200 feet tall. They have something special called umbrella foliage, which is very convenient to have in a city we've nicknamed Vancouver. So if you're ever caught in a rainstorm, you can go towards the western red cedar and hide beside it, and the umbrella foliage will leave the water away from the base of the tree, so you won't get too wet. This tree is very important to the First Nations. They call it the tree of life. They'll use the wood of the tree to carve canoes, houses, and totem poles like you saw earlier, and that's because the wood can last up to 100 years with no treatment on it. So it gives an idea of the lifespan of the totem pole. They'll strip a piece of the bark and weave it to get blankets, baskets, ropes, jewelry, and raincoats, and they'll mash the bark into finer fibers to get softer clothing and even baby disposable diapers. Sticking out on our left in the sunshine, this big tree here is another western red cedar. You can really see the undertone of the red as well as how fine and stringy the bark is in this tree. animals in Stanley Park, we do only have the small ones. You'll probably see lots and lots of squirrels, some skunks, raccoons, coyotes, Canada geese. We also have 4 nesting bald eagles in the park, as well as the largest urban hairy on the west side. But for the bigger animals, none of those. They've all left the park due to increased human activity. You won't see any bears, cougar, deer, or moose. The squirrels, though, I do like to find them a little bit of a funny story. We've got 2 types of squirrels here. We've got the Douglas squirrels. They're reddish brown in color, and they're native. They're on the smaller side. And then we've got the gray and black squirrels. They are not native. So we were gifted 8 breeding pairs of eastern greys from New York City in 1909. And well, that is a gift that just keeps on giving. They are everywhere. But what goes around comes around, right? I think we got them back in the States with the amount of Canada geese we sent their way. This big tree on our right, this here is the Douglas fir. They've got very rough and scaly bark. Now this tree is about 400 years old, which is actually quite young for Douglas fir because they can grow 2,000 to 3,000 years old. They can grow bark in thickness of 1 foot or 30 centimeters and can also withstand at least 2 big forest fires. So as you can see with the black scorch marks on the side, that's from the last fire that came through about 100 years ago or so. Just enough damage to weaken the bark for some bugs to get inside, and a woodpecker got them all out. That's what all these tiny holes are from. But still, barely cracked the surface of the bark.
No, I can't live there.
Huh?
I cannot live there.
No. Too many spiders?
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah. Luckily, there's no snakes in the park. If we had snakes here, I probably wouldn't be working here. Yeah, we don't like snakes.
For
Boys,
the weather, probably. Do you see the weather?
for not having snakes? I don't know. I just don't think that they would like this kind of environment. There's also a butterfly on the flowers over there. I don't know if you can see it. They're like butterflies. But no, the only snakes we have are garden snakes, and they're really tiny. I don't even know how to explain them, but you don't see them often. It's
Will be the weather.
Yeah.
Weather problem.
Do you have snakes in Florida? I think you do.
Well, over there is.
Yeah. Crocodiles too.
Alligator.
Alligators? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't like those. Those are my number one. Don't like them. How about you guys? What animals do you have back home?
Snakes.
Snakes too. Oh, great. Not visiting either of you guys.
It depends. Like on the plain area, you get the snakes, but in the Himalayas, the
No snakes?
no snakes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have like a variety of weather.
Yeah.
83% is steep line from back in Nepal, and around 17% is plain.
Okay.
And there are some poisonous snake
Ooh,
on
gosh.
the southern part, like Indian border side.
Do they come after people, or are they kind of like minding their own business?
Depends.
Depends, yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, you have to be careful when they're poisonous, because then that's an issue. Boys. Luckily, we don't really have any poisonous animals here, like no spiders or snakes that are poisonous whatsoever, which is good. But, I know, still some that can cause some damage. We've had a cougar spotted in Port Coquitlam not long ago, so we have to be careful about cougars and bears. Now down to our right, this pathway, it'll take you to Beaver Lake. It's not much of a lake anymore. It's pretty overgrown, but still very beautiful. But about 60 years ago, the city thought it'd be a great idea to get some beaver. They got 12 of them, put them in the lake, and built a mesh wire fence around it to contain them. Well, I think they forgot what beaver do. They chewed right through that fence, dug a tunnel underneath the road we're currently on, and popped up on the left, chopping down all of our trees. The trees were a problem, of course, but the biggest problem was actually the road. Due to the tunnel they dug underneath, well, the road collapsed. And this new pipeline road, it got the whole water mains downtown Vancouver. So the city was not too happy. They packed up the beaver, shipped them off, and that was the end of that. No more beaver. Or so they thought. In 2009, the beaver came back on their own accord. There's now 5 beaver in Beaver Lake and 2 more in Lost Lagoon. If you ever go for a walk around either of these lakes, keep your eyes open. You might see some beaver in the water or in the bushes. Their favorite time of day is dusk and dawn. If you ever feel overcome with a sense of deja vu, walked around downtown, Vancouver, or even Stanley Park, it's probably because you've already seen us on the big screen. We are third in the movie-making industry right after LA and New York when it came Hollywood North. They do film here quite often, about 2 to 3 times a month. If they ever need a carriage horse, they will give us a call. A number of our horses have already been in quite a few TV shows and movies. Unfortunately, not the 2 horses up front. These guys are still quite new to our stable. But a lot of our older or retired horses, they've been in a bunch of stuff. They've been in Mirror Mirror, Once Upon a Time, The Bachelor Canada, Over There Listed, Van Helsing, and a whole bunch of Hallmark Christmas movies. We do have another special horse in our stable. His name is Lonnie. Apart from doing the regular tours around the park, he's the only horse we have that will visit senior homes. So by this, I mean he goes right through the doors into the building, down the hallway, and says hi to everybody. It's quite impressive to see. I've gone to those a few times, and every time I'm just so surprised how he fits through the doorway. He's our tallest horse at 19 hands high. His hand is about 4 inches, but he really does look a second job. Coming up on our right, there's going to be this funny looking tree that's been cut. Now this is the western hemlock. What they do is they feed off the nutrition of an old stump or log and would leave nothing but a hole in the middle. This one is a great example of it feeding off of an old stump. Once we pass it, you will be able to see a bit of a hole on the side of it. But this isn't the greatest example of that. There's one further in the rose garden just before the roundabout that's really big and really cool. Coming up on our right, the horses may or may not try to take you down this hill because at the bottom, the brown building with green parking sign on it is home to the horses. That's where dinner, bed, and friends are waiting very shortly. Yes, we are very lucky to be stabled here. It is only about a 5 to 10 minute walk for our horses to get to work in the mornings, and then a 3-minute walk back home at the end of the day. Very close by. If not, we would have to trailer them in and out, and that can get very stressful on their bodies. We're not the only horses in the park. There is another stable behind ours. It has the red roof and Canada flag. You might see it peeking through the trees on our right. And that over there is home to the Vancouver Police Department mounted unit. So they have 7 officers and 9 horses stabled there. You might see them patrol the park every now and then, or even do crowd control downtown. But like I mentioned, they also own one of our horses. His name is also Bud. He did not like standing around for 30 minutes after every tour. So we gave him to the police just to see how that would go, and you won't believe it. He will stand around for hours. No idea what they did, but that also just shows you if these horses do not like their jobs, we will find them another one. There's no way you're forcing them to do anything. They are way too big and strong. Have any of you spotted the mounted police in downtown while you've been here? No? The mounted police? Have you seen them in downtown? No? They're out quite a bit because of the FIFA, so I thought that maybe some of you would have seen them, but maybe not. As you've probably noticed, we're also at the entrance of the beautiful rose garden. In 1920, the Kiwanis Club, they wanted to see how well their roses would do in Vancouver weather, and they do very, very well. We have 50 plots of rose beds of over 40 different varieties. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and as you can see, they are in bloom. Our gardeners do a really good job at impressing us. Not only does it get quite popular in here with tourists taking photos, but also at bridal parties. We can get up to 5 brides at once taking their photos or having a wedding ceremony. These dark red ones are my favorites. I just love them so much.
They don't pay.
Sorry?
They don't pay.
No. Thank goodness.
Really?
Yeah, some people do take them, but
Right.
yeah, we're not really supposed to, so. I know, because if people took them, we wouldn't have any left.
Wow.
Yeah, it is very pretty, and you can really smell it as we go through the rose gardens that way. But the good thing is I am dropping off right here, so if you wanted to go enjoy the rose gardens a little bit more, you are more than welcome to. But this is coming to the end of our tour today, guys. On behalf of Simply Horse and Carriage, Roy, Bud, and myself, we thank you very much for coming. Yes, there is a wedding. I seem to always be crashing them. For some reason, I'm getting that bad luck of wedding crashing, but okay, it's not a terrible thing. The number 19?
Where?
Yeah, it's just behind this building. If you want, you can stay on board. I'm going that way anyways. If not, it's just around the building.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's like not even a minute. Yeah,
Okay.
just behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming.
Alright, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Ano namin hindi tayo.
Yes, sir. Guess what they're doing. इस गाड़ी नंबर 19 जाने
रोज गाडीमा फोटो खिच्ने हो।
गाडी में नहीं देखना है, गाड़ी ये करना बात है।